AITA for expecting my boyfriend M18 to stop prioritizing his friends over me F19. The night I realized something was truly wrong began with a phone that wouldn't stop buzzing. Not his. My boyfriend, Jason, was asleep beside me, one arm thrown carelessly over his eyes, breathing softly in that way that always made me feel safe, or used to. The blue glow from his screen pulsed against the dark room like a heartbeat, lighting up the wall every few seconds. Buzz, buzz, buzz. At first I thought it was an emergency, but when I leaned over to look, hesitant, guilty, curious, I saw the group chat name blinking over and over. The Wolves, his friends. Again, midnight. 1 a.m., 1:27 a.m. They were still spamming him with memes, stupid dares, videos, and demands to join their late-night call. I watched the notifications flicker across his screen, one after another, like they were clawing at him through the glass. Bro, wake up. We need you on the game RN. Tell your girl to chill and get online. One message made my stomach twist. You're whipped as hell for ditching us for her again. I didn't wake him. I didn't say anything, but I lay there in the darkness, staring at the ceiling, feeling something unfamiliar tighten around my ribs, something between sadness and dread. Because it wasn't the first time, not even close. Jason and I have been together for almost a year, and to be fair, he wasn't always like this. When we first started dating, he was attentive, sweet, always eager to spend time with me. But then something shifted. It started small. Him canceling movie nights because the boys wanted him at the skate park. Leaving my birthday dinner early because the guys need me to help fix a bike. Showing up late, distracted, half there, smelling like wind, sweat, and adrenaline from whatever chaos the Wolves dragged him into. He always apologized, always said he didn't mean to, always made up excuses. They're like my brothers. They do anything for me. I don't want to lose the group. But each time, the distance between us stretched a little more, and the worst part, I could feel myself shrinking to fit into the space he left me. Last Friday was supposed to be our night. I had spent hours getting ready. New dress, hair curled, makeup soft and romantic. We hadn't had a proper date in weeks, and I missed him. Not physically, emotionally. I missed the way he used to look at me like I mattered more than anything. But 15 minutes before he was supposed to pick me up, my phone rang. His name. I felt my heart sink even before I answered. Hey, babe, listen. His tone was already guilty. Not a good sign. The guys are having this thing tonight. It's important. I swear I'll make it up to you. There it was. Again, my throat tightened. My eyes burnt. But I didn't want to be that girlfriend, so I forced a smile he couldn't even see. Yeah, sure. Go have fun. I hung up and sat there, fully dressed, staring at the wall like if I blinked, my disappointment would disappear. It didn't. 3 hours later, I saw a video of him on Instagram. One of the Wolves had posted it. Jason shotgunning a drink, cheering, laughing, surrounded by his friends. Not even thinking about me. Not even remembering the promise he broke. That was the first time I cried over him. Not the last. So when I woke up at 2 a.m. to the buzz 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 of the Wolves summoning him yet again, something inside me snapped. Not in anger. In realization. I couldn't keep doing this. We couldn't keep doing this. So I shook Jason awake gently. Jason, I whispered, can we talk? He mumbled and rolled over. Later, no, I said softly, now. His eyes opened slowly. Groggy, confused, irritated. What's wrong? I need to tell you how I feel, I said, voice trembling despite my best effort. About your friends. About us. I feel like I'm always coming second. Like I don't matter as much. Like they always get the best version of you, and I get whatever's left. He blinked at me, silent. And then, something that hurt more than any argument. He sighed and rubbed his face like I was a problem he needed to deal with. Not this again, he muttered. My heart cracked a little. It's not this again, Jason. I'm telling you I feel invisible. You're not invisible, he said. You just need to understand they're important to me. And I'm not. You are, babe, but they're my guys. I don't want to lose them. I stared at him. I don't want to lose you, I whispered. That softened him for a moment. He looked at me, really looked, but instead of holding me, instead of reassuring me, instead of choosing me. His phone buzzed again. He glanced at it. Just a quick glance, but enough, and I saw the choice, the priority, the truth. He wasn't mine. Not really. He belonged to them. Jason didn't go back to sleep after that. Not because he wanted to talk, but because he stayed up texting the wolves, while I lay beside him trying not to cry. So now I'm here, wondering. AITA for expecting my boyfriend to stop prioritizing his friends over me, to show up when he promises, to choose our relationship sometimes instead of always choosing them? Or am I just asking too much of someone who was never ready to love me the way I love him? Because the hardest part to admit is this: I don't think he realizes he's losing me piece by piece, and I don't think the wolves will notice until there's nothing left of us to save. Jason didn't say anything else that night. He just lay on his back, staring at the ceiling, his phone buzzing beside him like a small, relentless alarm clock. Every vibration felt like a punch to my ribs. I turned away from him and tried to breathe slowly, silently, carefully. The way you breathe when you're scared that even air might hurt. Around 3 a.m., he finally muttered, "I don't get why you're making this such a big deal." That sentence rang in my head like a bell. A cold, ugly bell that told me everything I needed to know. He didn't understand. And worse, he didn't want to. The next morning, I woke up alone. Jason's side of the bed was empty, his phone gone, and I could hear muffled laughter from the kitchen. For one dizzy moment, I thought maybe he was on a call with his mom or watching something funny. But when I walked out, he was leaning over the counter, phone on speaker, talking to the wolves. Bro, she literally woke me up at 2 a.m. to complain. 2 a.m. Their laughter exploded so loudly my chest squeezed. Damn, she's clingy as hell. You gotta train her better, man. Oh my god, someone cackled to get her a hobby. Jason laughed too. Not a nervous laugh. Not the uncomfortable kind. Just amused, entertained. Like my heartache was a joke. He didn't know I was standing there. Not until the floor creaked, and when he looked up, his smile vanished. Babe, I walked back to the bedroom without a word, because if I stayed, I would cry, and I refused to let his friends hear that. For the next 2 days, we barely spoke, or rather, I barely spoke. Jason acted like nothing had happened. When he came home, head flop onto the couch, open TikTok, scroll, laugh, send things to his group chat, and exist in this bubble where only the wolves mattered. He didn't ask how I felt. He didn't ask what I wanted. He didn't even ask how my day was. I started feeling like I was dissolving, like my presence was optional. The worst part, he didn't notice. On Wednesday, something finally snapped. We were supposed to study together for finals, something we had planned weeks ago. It was important. I was struggling in one of my courses, and he had promised more than once that had helped me. But when I arrived at his house, his shoes were gone. His jacket too. The house eerily quiet. I checked my phone. No texts. I waited. 10 minutes, 20, 45. When he finally walked in, breathless and smelling of sweat and beer, he tossed his backpack onto the couch like nothing was wrong. "Oh, hey," he said casually. "Sorry, the guys needed me. We had to sort out some stuff. Some stuff that, apparently, was more important than me." Again, I stared at him. "Jason, I needed you today." "You didn't text me," he shrugged. "Because you said you'd be here." I snapped. He raised an eyebrow. "Okay, calm down." Something inside me twisted painfully. "Calm down?" I repeated. "I waited an hour for you." "You could have gone home," he said, annoyed. "Why are you making this dramatic?" I opened my mouth, but no words came out. Because anything I said would sound pathetic, needy, begging, and I hated that. So I just grabbed my bag and turned to leave. "Seriously?" he scoffed. "You're leaving?" Again with the attitude. I didn't answer. I walked out the door, down the steps, across the street, my heartbeat pounding like a warning in my chest. But before I even reached the corner, my phone vibrated. "Jason, come back. We need to talk." For a moment, stupidly, I felt hope. Maybe he finally understood. Maybe he realized he hurt me. Maybe he was ready to fix things. So I went back. Jason was sitting on the couch, elbows on his knees, staring at the floor. When he looked up, his expression wasn't apologetic. It was frustrated. "This can't keep happening," he said. I froze. "What can't? You?" he said quietly. "Getting upset every time I hang out with my friends. I'm not upset that you hang out with them. I whispered. I'm upset that you always choose them. Over me. Over plans. Over us. You're blowing it out of proportion. I'm not, I said. I feel like I'm not a priority. He rubbed his face with both hands. They're my friends. I've known them for years. And you've known me for a year, I said. Does that year mean anything? Of course it does. But you need to understand balance. I do, I said softly. But this isn't balance, Jason. This is me being last on your list. That's when he said something that made the room tilt. You're the one making me choose, not them. My heart stopped. I've never asked you to choose, I whispered. You kind of have, he insisted. You keep acting like me hanging with them is a betrayal. It feels like one, I said. Because you break plans. You ditch me. You ignore me for hours. You treat me like I'm optional. His jaw tightened. Well, maybe you shouldn't rely on me so much. Those 8 words hit harder than a slap. I took a step back. Is that what you think? I asked softly. That I rely on you too much? He shrugged. I just think you need to be more independent. Independent. The word echoed in my head. Bitter, painful, humiliating. Because I wasn't asking for dependence. I was asking for presence. For effort. For the bare minimum. I swallowed hard. And what about you? I asked. Are you independent from your friends? His jaw clenched. I already knew the answer. That night, I went home and cried until my eyes burned. Not because he chose them, but because he never chose me. Not really. And the truth hit me like cold water. He wasn't prioritizing them over me. He had never prioritized me at all. I was convenient, easy, always there, always forgiving, while they demanded his attention, energy, loyalty. And he gave it to them without hesitation. So now I'm left wondering, if I want a real relationship, am I supposed to wait until his friends get bored of him? Until he gets tired of them? Until he grows up? Because I'm starting to realize I might be waiting forever. I didn't sleep that night. I kept replaying everything his expression when I asked for more time together. The way he tried to defend himself with half smiles and excuses. The way he looked genuinely terrified when I finally snapped and told him. I couldn't keep feeling like the placeholder in his life. The next morning, my phone buzzed with a message from him. Evan, can we talk, please? I think I finally get it. Those words made my stomach twist. I wanted to hope, but I'd hoped 100 times before. Still, I agreed to meet. We picked a neutral place. The old pier where we used to sit late at night, feet dangling over the water, pretending we were the only 2 people in the world. He was already there, hoodie pulled tight, hair messy like he hadn't slept either. For once, when he looked at me, his eyes didn't shift away, they locked on mine. I screwed up, he said quietly, and I think I've been screwing up for a while. I just waited. I never meant to make you feel second, he continued, but I guess I didn't want to admit that you mattered more than I knew how to handle. That hit me hard. He took a shaky breath. My friends, they're easy. No commitment, no pressure, no race. With you I actually care, and that scared me. So I kept running back to what felt safe. I didn't say anything because if I opened my mouth too soon, I wasn't sure whether anger or relief would come out. But I'm not a kid anymore, he said, and you deserve someone who shows up. Not someone who disappears because he's scared of feeling something real. He looked away at the water. I don't want to lose you. Not because of my cowardice. I exhaled slowly. Evan, I never asked you to ditch your friends. I never asked you to choose. I just wanted you to care enough to balance things. To show me I mattered too. He nodded quickly. I know. And I didn't. That's on me. Silence settled between us, not heavy, not light, just honest. Then he said something I didn't expect. I talked to them. That made my eyebrows raise. He continued, I told them I needed time with you. And they teased me, but they said they get it. They actually told me I was being an idiot. I couldn't help a tiny laugh. Good friends then. The best, he said. And I almost lost both you and them because I couldn't be mature enough to figure out how to keep balance. He shifted closer. I want to do better. Not just say do it. I want date nights that I don't bail on. I want to ask you about your day before disappearing with the guys. I want us to make plans together. His voice dropped. I want you to feel like my girlfriend, not an afterthought. The wind brushed between us, cool and soft. For the first time in weeks, I felt something uncoil inside me like I'd been holding tension in every muscle. And my body finally remembered how to breathe. Okay, I said quietly. But it can't be one of those things you say and forget. He shook his head. I won't forget. I swear. Then, almost hesitantly, he reached for my hand. I didn't pull away. We sat on the pier for a long time, talking about expectations, about boundaries, about stupid fears and overdue honesty. The kind of conversation we should have had months ago. By the time the sun began to dip into the water, he squeezed my hand gently and said, I love you. I think I've been trying not to say it, but I do. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't sudden. It felt like a truth had been carrying quietly for a long time. I squeezed his hand back. I love you too. And for